Chelsea have just smashed Southampton for 5, beating them 5-1 at St Mary's. Chelsea fans have to be on cloud 9 right now. Second in the Premier League, scoring 5 goals away from home. Chelsea are in such form that it's actually unthinkable. The speed in which they've just become a complete side is unbelievable. And to be fair, I'm all for it. Bellissimo. And despite making bundles of changes, Chelsea scored 5 goals. Yes, they conceded 1. That's 1 negative, but the positives completely outweigh these negatives. Fluidity in the team, the way they transition, the way they create goals, is just simply bellissimo. Scoring 5 away from home doesn't tell the full story because it could have been 10, 11. Just look at the statistics. 5.43 expected goals. The chances they were creating were insane. 12 big chances created. 26 shots is absolutely incredible. So stay tuned because I'm going to give you your 3 good and I'm going to try and give you 3 bad from last night's performance. And first up, it's Enzo Maresca. I love everything about this guy. The bald-headed genius is doing a wonderful job at Chelsea. They've definitely hit the mark with this manager because everything he's doing is turning into gold. And I'm telling you now, he's cracked that code. Let me explain. He continues to pick the right profiles to match that squad he's selected. So, for example, Jadon Sancho and João Felix are kind of like feel the ball manipulators, pocket players. Then you've got Pedro Neto and Noni Madueke, who are more direct, like getting behind, use their pace, and be absolutely fearless in possession. And this is why I always say profiles make partnerships, which create a successful team, because when you have João Felix or Jadon Sancho on the left, Noni Madueke or Pedro Neto on the right, or vice versa, that means you're not too one-dimensional. The opposition don't know whether to squeeze up and close the space so it doesn't allow João Felix or Jadon Sancho to pick up pockets of space. But by doing that, they run the risk of Noni Madueke, Pedro Neto getting in behind. So do they drop off? If they drop off and prevent them getting in behind, that leaves more room for João Felix and Jadon Sancho to pop up space and break down low blocks. So what he's doing is so clever. He's literally cracked the code on how to off-balance the opposition structure. And we're seeing it, and relentless Chelsea are going forward is frightening. The funny thing is, we scored 5 goals last night, and I don't even think it was the best performance of the season. I think the game against Aston Villa is a complete performance. Chelsea were much better. Last night they were unbelievable, don't get us wrong. But it just goes to show the levels this squad can get to is insane. So Enzo Maresca, not for the first time and not for the last time, you've got yourself a very good. And this is difficult because I want to put every player in there because every player is stepping up and delivering every time they've got the opportunity. But I think Jorgensen, for making his Premier League debut with a makeshift back four in front of him, he was complete tonight. He is literally giving Enzo Maresca a headache because he's coming in, he's delivering, and this is making Robert Sanchez up his performances. So now Enzo Maresca's thinking, well, who do I start in the Premier League? Because his saves last night, he didn't have too much to do. Yes, he conceded, but I don't think that was his fault. I don't think there was much he could do about the goal. But Jorgensen's distribution, positioning, his awareness and when to come and sweep things up last night was absolutely on point, whether that be short passes, long passes. He got all his decision-making correct, and that's what you want from a goalkeeper. And you've got to think there was a lot of pressure on his shoulders because he didn't have Levi Colwill, Wesley Fofana in front of him. He had Tosin and XL Disasi, who haven't played together very much, so there's going to be worries. And I just thought he dealt with everything superbly. And halfway through the video, I've changed my mind. I'm going to give you 4 good points from last night because we did score 5 goals and there wasn't much negative to talk about. So I want to put in Moses Caicedo. He has been in every single one of these because he is fundamental to everything Chelsea do going forward. And now the reason I say that is because he walks so everybody else can run. His presence in midfield allows the João Felix, the Cole Palmers, the Chris Van Kukus, the Nicholas Jacksons, the Pedro Netos. Honestly, saying these names off in one squad is insane. His presence and his anticipation and breaking up the opposition attacks, being brilliant in defensive transitions, allows those advanced players to take all the glory. But I want to give Moses Caicedo his glory because he was once again exceptional. Exceptional performance. Just a complete midfield performance. His distribution was good. He didn't do too much on the ball. He didn't dwell on the ball. He showed for the ball. He was an option for the guys in possession. But he also delivered defensively as well. Breaking up plays, strong in tackles, being forceful. He was just incredible in that middle of the pitch. Southampton just couldn't deal with him. He was just everywhere. And I just think he is fundamental to everything Chelsea do, whether that be going forward or defensively. And he has to have a green tick next to his name. And for my fourth and final good, this is harsh because I really want to put Axel Disasi in there because I thought he was very good at the back. I thought he was strong, kept his shape well, they kept the line well. I just thought his performance was very good considering he doesn't get much game time. So when you come into a Premier League game, it's exceptionally difficult to get up to speed. And I just thought he got his goal. He done what he was asked to do last night, and I think it's very harsh he doesn't get a good tonight, so I just wanted to give him a shout out. But I'm going to give it to Noni Madueke. Goal and an assist, and I just think Southampton just couldn't cope with him. Yes, he can be frustrating at times. Yes, at times he can make the wrong decision, but his relentlessness, his directness in possession, the opposition just can't live with him. But let's be honest, he could have had a hat-trick. He could have undoubtedly had a hat-trick, so that's bye or bye. I just think the performance, considering he didn't start against Aston Villa, his head would have been down, he would have been disappointed, and to come out and just deliver the way he delivered with an assist, a beautiful finish, I just think I'm happy for him. I'm really happy for him because he gets a lot of stick from Chelsea fans, and he, like I say, he can be frustrating, but I think Enzo Maresca is instructing him to play this way, and I think he's starting to add that ability to go on the outside of his game. He's starting to get more confident. I just think he's absolutely done no harm today, and he's definitely put his name in the hat to start against Tottenham because his ability, if I was a fullback, right, I would hate to play against Noni Madueke's profile. I would absolutely dread it, and I just think he's so threatening that the opposition, it worries the opposition, and I think to have a profile like that on the pitch is so beneficial. But to be honest, I could have put anybody in that good section for Chelsea yesterday. I thought Cucurella was consistent as always. I thought Malo Gusto had a brilliant game despite being come back from injury. So Tosin and Disasi, yes, were conceded. I understand that. But overall, it was a very good performance. So Enzo Fernandez was good. I thought João Felix was very creative. I thought what I like about João Felix is his desire to want to get on the ball. I love that in a footballer. Always shown for the ball. Yes, he can be a little bit wasteful, and we're going to touch upon this very shortly. I just thought it was a very good performance. Again, from Christopher Nkunku, the pressure he had on his shoulders to deliver last night, because he, in the back of his mind, he's thinking, if I don't perform, I'm never going to get ahead of Nicholas Jackson. And that's what he's working towards, to get ahead of Nicholas Jackson. So his performance needs to be on it. And I just thought last night he was on it, shown for the ball when he needed to. He actually ran the channels well, pressed well. And Southampton were forced Southampton into their own mistakes. And I just thought Cole Palmer, you know what? I've done 10 minutes of this video and I haven't even mentioned Cole Palmer. And he is our guy. He is our elite level footballer. He is the go-to man. That just shows the squad depth in this Chelsea squad is absolutely bellissimo. So it's time for the bad. And do you know what? I don't want to speak about a negative. I really don't want to speak about a negative because we've just scored 5 goals away from home. You just can't really complain as a football fan. But the only thing I want to mention is we could have had 10. How wasteful we were with shooting. Just with the final ball at times, it was wasteful. We literally could have been sitting here today speaking about record-breaking win for Chelsea because we just dismantled Southampton time after time after time again. When you've got an expected goals of 5.47, that is absolutely insane for an away performance. But look, forget about the negatives. I want to be positive, and Enzo Maresca is getting a tune out at every single player in this squad. Even when you look at the Conference League performances, yes, you're going to say it's only the Conference League, but Mudryk steps in, does a job. Dewsbury Hall steps in and does a job. Every single player is playing their part this season. And I just think Enzo Maresca is getting everything right from the rotation selection. And the beauty about Chelsea is, yes, they can make changes, but the style of play doesn't change. every single body knows their role and responsibilities, and they're delivering it on all fronts. And you've got to give Enzo Maresca his flowers for that. Enzo Maresca has done so right this opening part of the season. He deserves his espresso. I want him to sit back, relax with his espresso coffee, with his margarita pizza, and just enjoy life, because he is delivering for Chelsea fans to enjoy life. And he spoke about Chelsea dominating English football in 4 or 5 years to come. I'm starting to believe him. I'm becoming a believer. And if you are as well, make sure you smash that like button, hit that subscribe button before you leave, and drop us a comment in the below if there's anything I'm missing from the good or the bad. I would love to hear from you. But once again, I appreciate your time. Thank you very much for watching.